So here is half of my collection. This bookshelf has two sides to it. I'm only going to show you one right now. I'm not going to show you the other one because my room is a mess on the other side. And I don't have time to deal with that right now. But I want to show you what I could show you right now because my time is limited. And I'm going to be moving, relocating soon. So it's about time I start showing off my collection here in its full. It's going to be a brief video. I'll go over the next week over each section in more detail. But here, you're probably familiar with this view from my other videos. But coming along here, you can see this top shelf is all Fantasy Flight Star Wars. That middle shelf is more Star Wars, but it's also Star Trek, Stargate, Starship Troopers, Starfinder. You see the common theme there, a lot of stars. And then down below, you have Deadlands, which is a Western fantasy game. Then you get into your modern D20 modern and some other more modern games, mutant games, anime games down there. Showcase Demons 2, new in box, still wrapped up. Inferno, Chaos. The fourth issue of White Dwarf in particular. I like this because Alice in Dungeonland. I love Alice in Wonderland. It's my favorite movie of all time. Up here, it's kind of less than ideal than what I want to show off right now, but it's kind of my showcase area. Citadel Miniatures, Chaos Warriors, we'll get into that later. But behind it, this is very rare. It's never gonna get opened. Action Scene, Orc War, D&D. Here we got new in box Space Orc, Blast-A-Bike. I got a lot of those models already made back at my other house. Don't have them with me right now. And this guy I'll grab with me and I'll bring him into my other room because he'll be more important later. And there's Sergeant Stone from Inquisitor. Moving on down, you have some classic, beautiful female miniatures from Dungeons & Dragons. I'll be doing a whole video showcasing them and also the history of gaming and females and sexism, and if it's there, if it's not, my opinion on it. But yeah, what you see is what you get right now. There you are. Dungeons & Dragons 2007 females. Well, 2007 is not when it was made, by the way. It's just a model number. What that's sitting on is a box of the reprint of the classic Dungeons & Dragons. We'll get to that later. Warhammer Historical, almost complete. It's really hard to complete. There's a couple books out there that you literally cannot buy. You cannot find right now on the market. I'm looking for them. I'll buy them when I can. Then you have just more D20, not really worth talking too much about it right now. Kind of aftermarket D20 products. Let me go down one level, and we have stuff worth talking about, stuff that started me off in Dungeons & Dragons in general, and that is Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 edition. You see right here, this is the original book I ever bought. But you see a lot of 3.5. Well, first of all, you see 3.0, then you get to 3.5. Then you have the special editions here in the wrapper, and then a ultra special edition leather-bound monster manual. You have all the monster manuals, and then you get into the environmental books, which also have monsters in them. Anyways, there you have it. D&D 3rd edition 3.5. Drop down a little bit more, and we have original edition. You see that rule encyclopedia that has all of the rules from the original edition Dungeons & Dragons, and next to it, and by original I mean original, like not even advanced Dungeons & Dragons, like original box D&D. Next to it you have 1st edition. I've already done a video showcasing you some of those monster manuals, showing you the original 1st edition, first print monster manuals. So you get all that going on for 1st edition Dungeons & Dragons. original edition Dungeons & Dragons also. And then it transitions and you get into second edition Dungeons & Dragons. This is all second edition. Right here, Showcase. It's a wonderful book series, Spelljammer. I highly recommend it. The book on bottom is the last of the series. The book on top is, I think, the third. But I've got all 6. I highly recommend reading the whole series. I think 2 of them, in general, the series is great. I think 1 or 2 of them was kind of because there's actually different authors for most of the books. Anyways, moving on. Down here at the bottom, you'll see Pathfinder. And I have a little bit of Pathfinder 2nd edition. I don't have too much of that yet. Maybe I'll get it one day. And then my small 4th edition collection there on the side. At that, we take a look at, and by the way, all this stuff is for sale. All these bags, I mentioned it before, but all these bags are for sale. $20 a piece, shipping included right now if you want it. Comment below all those bags. But let's get into, right here we have Legend of the Five Rings. The different editions. That's 4th edition. That's 5th edition by Fantasy Flight. Some RuneScape, or RuneQuest rather. I always call it RuneScape. This is pretty rare right here. Hackmaster, all the Hackmaster monster manuals. True Vein Chronicles, that's a great game. I'll be showcasing that pretty soon, for sure. Other than that, this kind of overflow. Some of it's aftermarket D20, stuff like that. It's kind of a mess over there, but you see my dice collection. Some Dungeon Master screens, stuff like that. Turning around. Keller's Keep Hero Quest expansion pack. We'll look more at the box that's above. This bag right here is not for sale. That's my personal bag. I'm keeping that one. Over here, what do we have? We have Palladium games, so a lot of Rifts. And then we go into EverQuest. And then a complete collection, 100% complete collection of Warcraft, the RPG, and World of Warcraft role-playing game. The 2 different versions, but kind of go together. See a little bit of Game of Thrones, The Dark Eye, German-made game, wonderful game, Castles and Crusades, Tunnels and Trolls. Goes on, and a quick show of some cards I have. Let me see my show. Displayed here. Old school. I know my shadow looks terrible there. I apologize for that. And then here on the end we have some of my smaller books. Just keep them over here. On the right you see Munchkin D20 essentially. Monster of the Week. And the only other thing worth noting right now, well, it's 2 things. Lamentations of the Flame Princess. I got quite a bit of that series. And then this book at the end here, The Mouse Guard. That's awesome. That's an awesome game. I'll be taking another look at that. And then what this room's for is the box. All my game boxes are up here. So starting on the left, you see Lord of the Rings. You get Man of War, which is a ship in Warhammer Fantasy setting. Then you have, this is the game that started me off actually. Well, this is a French edition, but this is the very first thing. My older brother got it for Christmas and started me off. And he's the reason why I have a whole closet full of this stuff. Warhammer Quest, Hero Quest, Gorka Morka, I'm big on the orcs. The Dungeons & Dragons board game, this is rare right here. And then in Greek, the same one. Both expansion packs, both even more rare than the game itself. I don't think the game itself is too rare in English, but the expansion packs are. Anyways, these 2 are classics. I grew up playing these. Expansion packs for Man of War. This is a little bit disorganized. I should have them together, but once again, I just needed to get this video out to show off some of my collection. Right here we have Lair of the Orc Lord right here, and that's why I want to show you this painted miniature that I bought. So I have the whole kit in there unpainted, but this is right here. This is the Orc Lord. Let me try to get my finger out of the shot. Here he is, the Orc Lord. Going on from there, on the right you see some Spelljammer. Right here actually is this is a floppy disk. I bought it just for the sake of it, a floppy disk game. Turning the corner, see more Warhammer, more Dungeons & Dragons. Right here is the original edition of Warhammer. I also have the special edition, but you're not going to see that in this video. That'll come later. And then the monstrous compendiums, and then everything. So right now, everything you've seen is not for sale. Everything is my personal collection. Now this is like my overflow, my duplicate copy section. Just about everything in here is for sale that I'm showing you right now. I'm going to list a lot of this stuff on eBay coming up very soon. The only exception is there's some Spanish language stuff in here which I might not sell. I might hold on to the foreign language stuff just because of how rare it is and how it might be valuable to me in the future. But anyways, this is what I'm showing you right now is all going to be for sale. It's all for sale right now. I just haven't listed it yet. This too. It's all for sale. So like I said, once again, the recap, well, I guess I'll show you this side. Try not to show my mess on the other side of my room. But you see some Dungeon Master screens for all of the Warhammer 40k games. And this Dungeons & Dragons sign that just came in today from eBay. And all my dungeon tiles. So yeah, once again, this is half of my bookshelf. You'll see the other half coming up very soon. Of course, the other half is right on the other side. It consists of a lot of Warhammer, all my 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and even more than that. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video of me showcasing my collection. I got to get it out there. We got school going on. We got a new president coming in tomorrow. A lot of stress. A lot of things going through my head, but I got like 1 week to make it happen because I'm moving, and it's crazy. I got this whole setup going on, and it's taking me this long to showcase it, but next week's going to be the week. So I'll be making a lot of videos. I'll be doing personal requests. If you want to see any of these books, I'll bring them up under the camera and we'll take a look at them. I'll show you any of the stuff. Just go ahead and leave a comment below, and thanks for watching, and stay safe.